All right, everybody. Everyone is here who's going to get in, so we're going to get this show rolling. My name is Patrick Tomlinson. I'm a stand-up comedian out of Milwaukee, and the Damsels have been good enough to give me a few minutes to get you guys warmed up and open up for them. But before we get into the jokes, just a little disclaimer that we have recently been asked to add to the start of the show for some reason. Myself to some degree, and then the Damsels to every degree imaginable, deal with adult language and adult situations. So if that is... in a very immature way, so if that is not your thing, if you have a weak constitution, or if you generally are made uncomfortable by that, then please stand up, enjoy your evening elsewhere. We will be happy to refund any of the money that you spent on your tickets to do so, and there's no judgment here. It's not everybody's taste. But other than that, anybody? I promise we won't stare at your back as you walk out of here, collectively. No? We're all good? Okay, excellent. So, that being said, if anybody complains after the show, you can go fuck yourself. So, who's been to a Damsel show before? 3 of you, excellent, all right. Who's been in GenCon before? Who's a GenCon virgin? Me. Right. Okay, there's a volcano in the lobby that we're going to be throwing you in at the end of the show. Anyway, so as I said, my name is Patrick Tomlinson. I live in Milwaukee. As a lot of you may know, we used to have GenCon before the dark times, and. No, seriously, I was in Milwaukee for like ever, and then they moved about 12 years ago, and we're all still drunk. I don't know if they're related, honestly. But yeah, so I'm from Milwaukee. I travel down here every year. I love it down here. I'm sure all of you do too. I love the cosplay. I don't know who this Andrew Luck character is. I don't know what movie it comes from. But there's a lot of people who say, anyway. I tried to do my own cosplay this year. I went a little... Didn't go quite as I wanted. I trapped a 50-pound city raccoon in a dumpster and taught it how to use a gun. I didn't finish the vest in time, so he's not here with us today. Well. It's a little chilly out there today, wasn't it? Like, it's supposed to be August, right? Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was like 50 when I got up. I don't know. It was the same way up in Wisconsin, though, too. We had a really brutally cold winter, and then it just kind of rolled over into whatever we're doing now. I don't know. It's just the winter was really bad this year. Like, it was so bad that I just a couple of weeks ago I got bitten by a mosquito for the first time all summer, and I realized I missed mosquitoes. Like, how bad does winter have to be before you would willingly invite a blood-sucking, disease-carrying parasite into your home just in case there was some chance you might be able to feel warmth again? I miss my ex-wife. It got pretty rough towards the end of the relationship too, guys. I'm not going to lie. There was just the last few years, there really wasn't much of any intimacy. It got so bad I started calling her my bag of withholding. It was rough. The divorce came out of nowhere for me, and it was tough to take because my full-time job is I'm a writer. I write sci-fi and fantasy, and so I deal with rejection a lot. Just a lot. But then to have that kind of like really deeply personal, like ultimate rejection stacked on top of all the rejection slips, it was too much. In fact, I was at a really low point and I considered suicide, but I could never get the note just right. I went through like 8 edits, I just could never pin that one down. I don't know, it put me in counseling for quite a little while, but that really didn't work for me either. I was with a psychologist, and I don't want to bash the guy because he was doing his job. He was trying, but he kept putting these ridiculous scenarios out in front of me. Like, okay, well, Mr. Tomlinson, if we found a bomb in here with 20 seconds left on the clock, what would you wish you'd have done differently in your life? Learn to defuse bombs, motherfucker. I mean, like, the hell are you talking about? He's like, no, what would your regrets be? I'm like, regrets? I got 15 seconds to build a rudimentary bomb shelter out of couch cushions and filing cabinets. I don't have time for regrets, man. No, just ignore the bomb for a moment. Ignore the bomb for a moment! Your priorities are fucked up, man. I'm not coming to you anymore. This is stupid. I don't know. But I think, like, I grew up with a psychologist as a mother, and so, like, I have some insight into that world, but I really believe that we're coming at the whole thing completely back-asswards. Because, like, people are taking handfuls of pills, and they're going to, anger management and fucking yoga and counseling and all these other things to try, because, in the self-help books, they're all telling you, it's like, oh, just, you were meant to be happy, and you should be happy all the time. Take these pills, you'll feel happy all the time. Were you really meant to be happy all the time? That sounds like a dangerous mental condition to me. I don't... Like, from an evolutionary standpoint, like, we weren't meant to be happy. We were meant to be fucking, sleeping, chasing down something to eat, and running the hell away from things that are trying to eat us. Where's the happiness in there? It's just, happiness is the temporary reward you get for doing one of those four things. So if you haven't just finished doing one of those four things, you don't deserve to be happy because you haven't earned it yet. So what I think we should be doing is taking these obnoxiously happy people, you know the ones, the guy with a spring in his step on Monday morning at work, like that fucker? Yeah, take him, medicate him down to our level, all right? Save us a lot of money on drugs, folks, all right? Just take the lady who does the Tupperware parties and shows up to all the PTA meetings, medicate her down to our level, so she's like listening to Air Supply in the shower, eating an entire bag of mint Oreos, for example. Binge watching Dexter on Netflix, like normal people, you know what I'm saying? So I've been a nerd my whole life, and I really have. I know I don't always look it, but it's the little things that you pick up on. Like the other day, I was on my Surface, and I typed anal into the Google search bar, and it autofilled to analytics, which is exactly what I was looking for. So that I could furiously masturbate to real-time page view data for my blog. I don't know what that fetish is called. You'd have to look it up on Google, I guess. But anyway, so, and like I said, I've been coming to GenCon for a lot of years, and we had a weird thing happen a couple days ago here. Made me a little uncomfortable. A friend of mine and I were downtown. We were, I think we ended up at Kilroy's. We were just looking for a place to get something to eat and a few drinks. And when we were approached on the sidewalk by two of the biggest hookers I have ever seen in my, and I don't mean big, all right? I mean, I am 6 foot tall, 215 pounds, and I was worried, folks, okay? And one of them comes up and says, "Hey, are you guys in town for the gaming convention?" We're like, "Yes, actually we are," because we're badges, I mean, it's pretty obvious. And like, "Well, we hope you win a lot of money and come back and see us." And we're like, "Well, it's not really that kind of gaming. It's more like tabletop RPGs and board games." This is when I realized I was correcting a hooker in the middle of the street. But I was just trying to help her, because if she'd have done even any market research whatsoever, like if she'd have dressed up, like her and her friend, if they had dressed up like Princess Leia, it wouldn't have mattered that they looked like tauntauns. Folks would have been lining up for that. And I thought they smelled bad on the outside. I like that joke, thank you. Where the hell was I going after that? The pause break threw me off. Anyway, so, no, there's been some weird stuff on the internet too lately, and like people do it, like, because we're talking a little bit about Google, and so you got, Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, but people are doing some really weird, dumb, short-sighted shit. Like, do we all know about the fire challenges? Yeah, light yourself on fire, film it, and then put yourself out. That's the fire challenge. People are doing this, folks, okay? Second one is this ice bucket challenge, where you dump ice water on yourself and that cures cancer or something. I'm not 100%. So I think just to put a little bit of a GenCon spin on it, I think the next thing we need to do is introduce the Song of Ice and Fire challenge. This is where you sleep with one of your siblings and then someone kills your entire family to benefit diabetes or something. I'm not sure exactly, but anyway. Game of Thrones is weird. I love Game of Thrones, don't get me wrong, but like watching it, like, am I the only one in here who's gotten the weird Game of Thrones boner? You know? You're like watching a couple of twins fucking like, we're not into that. You have to have a little confab with your penis, you know, it's no good. Oh man, okay, I'm going to leave you on this one. It's easily the dumbest joke I've ever told in front of an audience, so who wants to hear it?
Oh, yeah.
It is now your fault. What do they call the entrance to Lord Baelish's pleasure houses in King's Landing? Hodor. Yeah! Take that! Thank you, everyone. My name is Tomlinson. You can find me on Twitter at StealthyGeek. And without further ado, I'm now going to introduce what everyone is here to see, the Damsels of Dorkington!
Guys, please give it up for Patrick Tomlinson. All right. We're going to get this shit started.